Hello, and welcome to the newest season of Fish Food. Now, the first thing that you'll notice is that we've got video this year. We've never done this before. We've relied on audio, but I wanted to be intentional about making sure that you could see as well as hear all of the advice and tips that we give. So, in addition to being able to hear this on any podcast player that you like, you'll be able to come here and watch videos of me and my guests giving you accounting and tax advice, as well as checking you a little bit on some things that you could be doing differently. This podcast is all about making you money, keeping as much of it as you possibly can, and tracking for it appropriately for taxes. So again, welcome to this new version of Fish Food, and I can't wait to get started with you. So first things first, why are we upgrading podcast to video? Well, this year, I decided that video would take us a bit further than audio because one, I know that it's a platform that people are really engaging with more often. I want you to be able to see my faces, any charts that we can provide or captions that we can give you to make it more accessible for you to be able to get this advice from us. I also want to show up in different places for you. If you're not a normal podcast listener, how can we make sure that you still get the support that you need, even if you don't have a podcast player to grab us from? Why did I start Little Fish Accounting? I started Little Fish Accounting in 2018 for a couple of reasons. One of the first ones is I had a lot of peers at the time that were quitting their jobs, going into business for themselves, and really wanted accounting support. At the time, I was working for the federal government, was kind of bored, ready to do something else. And so I thought that I could do this in service. I think a lot about the idea that I can use my skills in service to really support other small business owners. I did not expect to take this full time, but I am so glad that a year later, I decided to step off of that corporate government treadmill to really go into business for myself and serve really small businesses. Hence the name Little Fish Accounting. We focus on micro business. So those with one owner, very small teams, usually less than 10 or 20, who are looking not just to scale in terms of empire size, but really to grow revenue, to create businesses that they love and want to keep working at while not just expanding for the sake of demand. Now, Little Fish has 5 employees. So I've got a team of women that are here to support you as you go into the role of CEO and are able to leave some of the accounting and tax tasks to an expert on your team. What about my career path made me think that I could do this? My career started in corporate. So I started in corporate accounting. I worked for major corporations. I'm from Georgia. I lived down there for 17 years before I made the leap to move to DC. And at the time, the change was to go from corporate to government, which was a huge difference for me in terms of how I did work. When I decided that it was time for me to maybe spread my wings and build my own business, one of the reasons that I knew that I could be good at it is because I care. And I know that kind of sounds cliche, but I realized that a lot of people that were in what are essentially done for you service industries are so focused on the task that they're not thinking about the experience. And because I didn't know anyone else who had started an accounting firm or who had done this before, followed design agencies in creating Little Fish, I knew that my focus on customer experience, on education, on transparency was really the way that we were going to be able to stand out in a sea of accountants. And one of the other reasons that I knew that I could do this is because I had the education and the expertise to be able to. I have my CPA license. I have a graduate degree, an MBA. I also had the experience of reviewing financial statements, of understanding what people were looking for when they were looking at numbers, whether that be a corporation or government or a small business like you. What I also knew is I wanted to serve small businesses that were like mine. And so some of the same pain points and struggles that I was experiencing, I knew that I was going to be able to use that experience to help somebody else get to that a little bit faster. All right, so how does this service help entrepreneurs and why are we the best at it? I know that Little Fish is better than many accounting firms because we take the time to make sure that our clients understand what they're getting. Whether that's your estimated taxes or your tax return or your monthly financial statements, it is important to us as a company that you know what you're looking at. And so we do everything from a resource library that gives you videos and templates and information to do the things for yourself that we don't do for you, and provide guidance on the things that we do for you. And in addition to that, all of our services are year-round partnerships. Our expectations is that you're in this for a long time, that you want to build a relationship with somebody that you can trust, that you can partner with, so that you have the information that you need to make strategic decisions about your business. And to be honest, a lot of service providers don't do that. I wish that more of us did. We should make a group of all of us that are into making sure that this happens. But for us, as for me and mine, we want to make sure that you know exactly what you're looking at, that you know how to use that information to make decisions, and that you've got a clear scope of what we're going to take care of versus what you need to keep on your plate. It's important to us that you walk in knowing exactly what you're going to get, and that you're getting support throughout the periods as your business grows, as it scales, and as it changes, as small businesses tend to do, so that you can make the decisions that are best, not just for you and your business, but also for your life. So at what stage do businesses become a great fit for us? The businesses that we serve best are professional service providers. So I'm thinking anybody who uses their brain for the most part in order to get paid. This includes coaches, consultants, trainers, lawyers, sometimes other accountants. You are in a space where your expertise is what you sell in order to get paid. Usually these businesses are very small. I would say that 95% of our clients have one owner and teams of less than 10 employees and contractors. We've got a couple that exceed. We got a couple that are really small, like solopreneurs, but usually they're in a place where they're starting to hire, they're starting to grow, but they also recognize that enough is enough. There's a line after which they don't want to just have to keep chasing money. And so we come in order to be able to, one, kind of level set where you stand. How much money do you have? How much are you making? And what do you have to pay for? We also are looking for clients who are ready to step into their role as CEO and really delegate those accounting and tax processes so that they don't have to be in them. We want to keep you high level. We want to make sure that you have the information that you need, but that you don't accidentally get stuck in the weeds of things that we can take care of you more easily and honestly faster. We also serve clients best who really respect the expertise of someone who is going to be able to answer questions for them based on other clients and best practices that we've experienced. That means you got to listen to us over social media. But I digress. The other thing that we look for with clients is alignment. We trust you to be the owners of your business, to know more about your business than we do, and we need you to be a partner in giving us the information that we need in order to support you best. We always work virtually, but that means that we want to make sure that we over-communicate everything that you need so that you never fall behind. That requires that you check your emails, though. All in all, we just want to make sure that we're aligning with businesses who want to make a difference, who are creating lives for themselves, and who are interested in growing revenues without necessarily growing a team exponentially. Why am I passionate about this? I'll be honest, I'm not necessarily super passionate about accounting per se. What I am passionate about is the ability to help people create businesses that support their lives with enough information to know how it's going to be able to do that. So let me give you an example. Most clients come in either not having seen or not really being familiar with financial statements. They know what they are, they may have heard of them, but they don't know how to read them. How much better could you plan for business, for vacation, for hiring, for taking time off, if you knew how much you made and how much you spend and how many clients you need to take, how much bandwidth you have? How could you make strategic decisions about how work impacts your life if you just have more information? That's what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about the idea that small businesses can be great at revenue and really be great at changing the world, kind of one client at a time. But you got to have information and you have to have space to be able to focus on the things that you need to do, the things that you are best at, your zone of genius per se, so that we can take the other things off of your plate. What I'm super passionate about is paperwork. The idea of getting things foundationally in line so that they don't come back to bite you later on, and that you can feel safe in your business, that you can feel comfortable asking questions, getting responses that are really tailored to what you need so that you can then use that to make strategic decisions about what's next for you. What is the biggest myth about financial experts? A big myth that I see about financial experts is that we know it all and keep it all in our head. That's not true. Now, I will not say that you can Google yourself to being an accountant. I know better than you where to look and exactly what I'm looking for. But the reality is that tax changes happen a lot. We take continuing education to stay on top of those. We're constantly staying on top of software to make sure that, we're giving you the best service in the most automated way that also has a person that's coming behind that to make sure that you're good. So I would say that that's a second myth about financial experts, that we are just task doers. Really, if you hire somebody to support you with your accounting, your taxes, your finances, you want the relationship. Yes, we're going to make sure that your bookkeeping is done. Yes, we are going to make sure that your taxes are completed and that your financial statements come out to you on a regular basis. But we want to go deeper than that. We want to know about your business. We want to know about your goals and your dreams and how we can use those numbers to get you closer to them. We are more than task doers. We're really your partners in finance to make sure that you're building the business that you actually want to build. Why do companies wait so long to hire help? I have seen so many small businesses who wait way longer than they need to hire help for accounting, tax, and finance. And there are a couple of reasons that I see come up. One of the main ones is cost. When you're first starting a business, you got so many things to pay for that it's only the essentials. And while accounting should be an essential, sometimes it can feel like a nice to have when you're just getting started. I think the other problem is that we have commoditized. Is that the word? Commoditized bookkeeping and accounting work so that people think as long as they have the software, they can kind of Google their way to taking care of the rest. Not really understanding that hiring accounting, tax, and finance help is really insurance. All of that is fine for you to do by yourself until you run into a problem and you don't know how to fix it. And now you don't have anybody that you trust on your team to really help you to take care of that. So what we want to make sure is that you understand that you have support, that if you are just starting a business, you want to set that foundation early. Hire somebody, whether it's for consulting or a one-off or a one-year engagement, whatever that looks like, so that you have support, so that as your business grows, you already have somebody who understands how it works. You want to get somebody on the team before things have already started going wrong. What is something that I wish businesses knew about their business when it comes to profitability? One thing that I wish that more small business owners knew is that profitability isn't always the goal. Now, listen, I know that sounds weird because it's like you're an accountant. Of course, I'm supposed to be making money. But you will go through periods in your business that are growth periods. They are meant for you to invest in your team, in your software, in your systems, in your processes. And sometimes that means you're going to break even or even have a little bit of a loss. Now, we don't want that for long periods, but if we know that that's coming, we can plan for it. We can make sure that you've got months of high highs to accommodate the low lows. So just because you're not profitable doesn't mean that your business isn't doing well. You want to have support to make sure that, again, this isn't an ongoing experience, that you're never making money. But the idea of a loss in 1 month doesn't mean that your business is failing. It could mean that you're setting yourself up for an even bigger month the next month that feels better in order to earn money. Again, we want to make sure that this is not just about the numbers. It's also about how you feel. If you make $1 million, but you're miserable and tired and overwhelmed, we need to restructure some things. And that may take some investments, but that hopefully makes it so that that next million is a little bit easier to get to.